But there's no reason somebody should be on Medicaid, disabled, and not working. If we don't do something, this nation's finances spiral out of control. Now is the time to make really, really hard decisions for the sake of the country.
We've got a couple clips of a lesser-known congressman on Newsmax, but who is still spreading the typical Republican drool of cutting Medicaid and entitlement. So I want to use this as a moment to take down this rob the poor to feed the rich type nonsense conservatives are always spewing. Leave a like on the video if you can. We'd really appreciate it. You know, socialize that those likes, and let's hop right into the story.
But there's no reason somebody should be on Medicaid, disabled, and not working. So yeah, is it as high the number as they state? I don't know, but it is sure something that the American public doesn't deserve and needs to be reformed.
So that's interesting. Are you saying that they should both not be on Medicare?
Well, Medicaid is the one that does disabilities. No, I don't personally think they're disabled. And I've seen this time after time again, working the system. And sometimes physicians are guilty of putting people on disability who shouldn't be.
They're making pretty easy midterm ads for Democrats to run on, if you ask me. Just juxtapose this with AOC saying healthcare for everyone is common sense, and boom, easy win, right? I mean, it's disgusting. Medicaid isn't just for the disabled. If it was, what would the problem be there, for one? But two, it's not just for the disabled. It's also for low-income individuals, for seniors. 41% of births, nearly half, are covered by Medicaid. Over 90% of long-term care for seniors is covered by Medicaid. In the case of the disabled, many require the equipment of services Medicaid provides to even be able to work in the first place. And if you're talking about, oh, too many entitlements, people shouldn't be relying on the government, wouldn't you want them to be able to work? So like if just having to be on Medicaid allows them to have a job and keeps them from relying on food stamps or welfare, isn't that a win rather than taking that from them? And now they're getting SSI disability, they're getting food stamps, they're getting welfare, all this other stuff. And also intertwining healthcare, something that should just be a human right, with employment for anybody is incredibly draconian, especially in the case of low-income individuals who definitely can't afford the treatment otherwise without insurance. It also opens the door for more workplace abuse and malfeasance if the employee speaks out against it and can be fired, and say in an at-will state where they can fire them for no reason or any reason, and they lose health care. If that happens, they're going to be a lot less likely to do so.
And we're hearing reports that 20 million people could be impacted. Do people watching right now need to be concerned?
If we don't do something, this nation's finances spiral out of control. And what's taken literally the healthcare situation in the country by storm, and what's thrown it into such disarray, is the middleman. This is what's gotten between doctors and patients, hospitals and physicians. It's ridiculous to how these plans have become the middleman and basically taking money off the top and not delivering services. So the real question is, what if we don't do anything? If we don't do anything, it's an absolute demise of the American healthcare system.
Okay, first off, the middleman is the issue. He's right there, but he's pretending that public insurance is the middleman. It's having multiple middlemen specifically that is the issue. And in all these private insurers that we have that allows Big Pharma to monopolize and jack up the prices, which is, by the way, why American costs for the same medicine and treatments are much more expensive than in other countries. Universal health care is what fixes this, specifically a single-payer universal health care system. More privatization does not. It only makes it worse. Medicaid and Medicare actually alleviate these problems. You see it a lot less in these systems. It's the private options in these that have been crafted out, Medicare Advantages, other ones like that pull from this. Second, if we're cutting to this to keep finances from spiraling out of control, why not just stop cutting revenue? Why are we cutting the revenue in these massive tax breaks for billionaires, which is just going to still allow, because if you're cutting spending, but you're cutting revenue to go with it, you're not fixing the financial problem. Or also, why are we doing these mass IRS layoffs that are projected to cost hundreds of billions of dollars even more in lost tax revenue? Why not fix the issue there instead of attacking seniors' health care or poor people's health care?
Congressman, is this part of Mike Johnson and Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill?
Well, we hope so. There's a lot that goes into that bill. It is going to be a huge Herculean effort, really, by the House and the Senate to get this all done in one bill. But the time is now. It has to be done now. Otherwise, we go into a financial collapse where the nation's really finances and economy is in peril, really in the not too distant future. So now is the time to make really, really hard decisions for the sake of the country.
It should be obvious by now that fiscal responsibility or balancing the budget can't be genuine. It can't be the answer when you're also the party trying to pass through $4.5 trillion in tax cuts that directly comes from our revenue. If you want to balance the budget, you put measures in to increase the revenue, not cut the revenue. You don't render the IRS less capable to collect revenue or cut the revenue base by massive amounts through the tax cuts. These are the acts of people trying to do handouts, not fiscal responsibility. And it's time we start calling it out, juxtaposing ourselves as the party defending entitlements from the robber baron billionaires, because we see it happening in real time like never before. And people across party lines are rightfully upset about it.